Greetings, Rebel Scum! Back from Rebel Scum Con, on our way off to SDCC, going to cover all that great Star Wars news, including the Hasbro booth. We'll be there on preview night, so I'll get you early shots, but as you know, they have reveals throughout the week. The Hasbro panel is not till Friday, so we won't see everything until the end of the day Friday, so we'll have to shoot that twice, I guess. But I know you guys want to see the Cantina. I bet they'll have it there, so we're looking forward to that. In addition to other items, keep checking back to Rebel Scum for more coverage as Comic-Con continues. But for now, we have a new jumbo. Believe it or not, this is the 2022 Premier Guild gift. Yes, that's right, the 2022 Premier Guild gift was due out last year, but finally got to collectors' hands, and that is the Tusken Raider from the Book of Boba Fett. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to show it to you based on their baseline Tusken Raider that's based on the original Star Wars Kenner figure. And then I'm also going to compare it to that Hasbro Tusken Raider from the Book of Boba Fett, so you can see where each one went a little bit different direction there. There is also a 2023 Premier Guild member figure, believe it or not, and that is 88, and that is on its way out to collectors' hands too as well. There's a 2024 one, and that is going to be the FX7. Very excited about that one too. I didn't think they'd ever do that. They said they wouldn't ever do that like 5 years ago, but here we go. We're getting it, so very excited. So this guy here, as you can see, slightly different deco. Is going to have more underneath the robe. I mean, first of all, the original one had a plastic robe, and this is a cloth robe, so that's a big upgrade. He has the brown underneath, and he has his gaffy stick, but he also has a rifle, as you can see there. The first time we're getting the Tusken Raider rifle as well in the original line, so very cool. On the back, it's going to be different artwork than the original Tusken Raider, because you're going to have those Tuskens from the Book of Boba Fett. I kind of think it would have been cool to go with the Tusken Chieftain, who has the hood, and he's all sort of black robes, completely different color scheme, but they went with this guy. You can see on the back several characters that have not been released yet. I mean, we have Lando's gift card. We're still waiting. I think he get pushed to later in the year. 88 was the Premier Guild gift from last year. We showed you that at Toy Fair. They had a sample of a 3D printed model. Ahsoka came out. We showed you guys Ahsoka. Darth Vader Unmasked, awesome figure. Very, very, very hard to find because he was a very short production run. He came out and disappeared. So if you missed him, he's gone forever. It's hard to find him on the secondary market. Book of Boba Fett, we showed you that guy. He's over my shoulder. I don't know if you can see him. Size Snoodles coming out later this year, as is Droopy McCool. No word yet on Max Rebo, but we do know he's coming out, and we've showed you close-ups with him at Toy Fair as well. So why don't we crack open this guy and check him out. Jumbos, as always, are, well, jumbo. So we try to get them in frame, and it's difficult most of the time. So this guy, I could get here in frame if I zoom out a little bit. So you can see him here. As always, I just take the card back out of here because this thing is huge. I can't keep this giant clamshell. I don't have the space for it. You see behind me, I have a ton of jumbos. So there is no way I'm going to be able to fit this many clamshells up there as well. So we have our guy, his weapons are actually in a separate insert here. So you can see the gaffy stick, and I think it's a slightly different color than the other one. We'll have comparison in just a moment. And then you have that rifle, which is really, really cool that they made that. This is an entirely new sculpt. I didn't think that this was included with the figure because it wasn't shown in the promotional images, but it's a really nicely detailed rifle, and this hasn't been done in the vintage collection, or I'm sorry, the retro collection yet, because all the other ones were based on the original weapons. I'm pretty sure the Hasbro one didn't come with one. We're going to check that out at the end of the review anyway. And then we have our Tusken Raider here. Absolutely love seeing Tusken Raider again, getting a little variety. And he is only held in by one secure strap there. And he's going to have his hands, and I'm guessing, and we'll compare it to the original. The mold is pretty similar. They still have the hands going down, so you can hold up the gaffy stick and do your, little raise the roof Tusken Raider move. And that's what it looks like he has here. So you can pop that gaffy stick in there and do that classic raise the roof or celebratory charge against Luke kind of move. So that's cool. Let's see how that rifle fits in just a second here. But we have the robe here, and you could tell that the body is a different color. So this is what we basically saw in the promotional images. I don't think we knew that we were getting a cloth robe. I think Zach told us from DSD that we were getting one, but I don't think we've seen it before. I think all the other models of the Tusken Raider were just without the robe. So very cool that he has this color scheme here and then the robe, and that's going to be all the way around. We have that stamp on there, 1977 Hong Kong. So I think this really is just one for one the first in the line produced Tusken Raider, just given a cloth robe that's all newly tooled here, and he's given a newly tooled rifle in addition to the gaffy stick. So pretty cool that you get that. A surprise for me. I did not know that this was coming, and I'm glad it did, but very hard to hold because the hand is only equipped for the gaffy stick here. So I guess what you could do is sort of put it in the same way that you would put in the gaffy stick and just kind of, I don't know, maybe sling it across this way into his hand and then hold the butt of the rifle in the other hand, and you kind of hold it like this. I mean, he's not gonna be able to aim it over his shoulder. I mean, it's a retro figure. What were you expecting to happen? But he can hold it, which is pretty cool to see him holding the rifle in this pose. But that is basically, you look at the figure here, and I'll bring it a little bit closer and we'll do a compare and contrast with the other Tusken Raider. But I don't think we need to tell you too much about this because this is just a rehash of the original with a new paint job. But I do love this robe. I really, really appreciate that they gave you a soft goods robe in here and not a vinyl cape again, because that would have been even cheaper. I mean, it's a Premier Guild member, which I am myself. If you're paying that fee for the membership and you're getting your free jumbo, you want a decent jumbo, right? You don't want to get just a repaint. So this is a pretty nice jumbo. In the past, they've given us some characters from the classic line that we wouldn't get otherwise, like Lando General. I think the Emperor was one as well. Han Carbonite was one. That was a really cool one. Han Stormtrooper was the one from last year. Yeah, I mean, they had Power of the Force versions of like the Gamorrean Guard. I think that was the Premier Guild to get them with a coin. But it's nice when they give you a little value added to the character. I mean, and from last year, we're getting 8D8, brand new figure, not done on the line before, and then we're getting FX7. So it's been droids for the last 2 years, and I appreciate it because otherwise we wouldn't have gotten them. But definitely really cool that they added the rifle, and I think it just gives you a little more value and makes it different than the standard Tusken Raider on the line. Speaking of which, let's check that out right now. All right, we're zooming in a little bit. Forgive me if some of this is cut off. I mean, I got my other Tusken Raider here, and he's doing his raise the roof pose. You can see with the original Tusken Raider, of course, he is vinyl caped, and the new one is cloth caped. Head very similar. I don't think there's any differences there. Body extremely similar. I think the only difference is the paint job. So you can see the original was more of a desert tan, and the new one has this black and tan color scheme as well. The gaffy sticks, different actually. If you look at them, there's an additional little handhold here. This is completely smooth. The end is bigger. So maybe they lost the mold on this, I don't know, but this is a completely newly tooled piece, and it's a different color. This is black versus brown, so completely newly tooled gaffy stick here, and a completely newly tooled rifle as well. So a lot going on here for this, as opposed to the Hasbro one here. We see the retro figure, and his gaffy stick is brown, and it looks to be exactly the same as the one that came with their Tusken Raider from the original line kind of mock-up. The color scheme you can see is similar. They went with the black and the tan, just like they did for this one. They gave him a cloth robe as well. I'm trying to see any other major differences, and I think that's basically it. They kind of kept it very similar. They're both similar in that design, so they were kind of mimicking off the same character. The card back is different. You see the warrior here. Tusken Warrior is what they're calling him, and Gentle Giant's calling the Tusken Raider, but just Book of Boba Fett edition. So that is a distinct figure. I mean, they got new tooling for all the weapons. They have new tooling for the cape. So there is some value there as opposed to just getting a repaint of the original. So I'm much happier with how this turned out than the promotional image we saw. So you got to be a little bit patient. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. As we learned with the Imperial Officer, when he came out, he was missing his weapon. So that was weird because it was in all the promotional shots, but it did not make the final production run. So this guy, however, is different than his promotional shots. He's better. He comes with these assortment of weapons, and he has this better cloth cape that I like for the Tusken Raider because the drape's a little bit nicer. So that is your comparison shot with the original release of the Tusken Raider based on his Kenner design, I think 1978. And then you have the Hasbro design as well, very close, but a little bit different. And I think this one wins because it has the rifle, which takes it to another level. Okay, Scummers, that concludes our look at the latest Jumbo from Gentle Giant and Diamond Select Toys. And, well, by latest, I mean the latest arriving shipping Jumbo. It's not the latest Jumbo, it's from 2022, but it's finally making its way to collectors' hands. The next Jumbo should be 8D8. He's starting to ship this week. But the next Jumbo you'll be able to get your hands on in the regular line is going to be the Off-World Jawa, who is premiering as an SDCC exclusive. So pick it up at the show, pick it up from their website. That one looks pretty cool. We will get our hands on that, get a review just when we get back from the con. That's where we'll be grabbing it. And that looks to me to be very similar to the cloth cape Jawa, but maybe there are some surprises. We'll see when we get our hands on, because I've only seen the promotional shot so far. I don't want to spoil anything. We'll probably also see some other Jumbos on display at Diamond Select's booth. So very excited to see if they have a final cut of Max Rebo. If they have a tease of FX7, that would be his first appearance. If they have any other surprises that they might unveil during the Diamond Select panel. Who knows, but that's why we're going, right? So we'll be covering all that throughout the week, along with tons of other coverage from Hasbro, from other producers as well. I don't want to spoil it. There's Hallmark, everyone knows, Pop Mart is another one, and we'll be finding other ones as we go throughout the week. So, you know, follow us for coverage, and we'll have everything up as soon as we can get it. Realizing that Wi-Fi can be tricky there sometimes, but we will get that coverage to you as soon as we can. Reach out to us if you have questions or want to see something else. We will bring our questions to Hasbro when we have our interview with Hasbro, and we will save up any other questions that we get after that for next time. We always have many opportunities to talk to our friends at Hasbro. So that is all for this time. Like, subscribe, and follow, and stay vigilant, you Rebel Scum.